In Jordan, a small country of 7 million, 1 out of 20 residents is a Syrian refugee. In the wake of the war in Syria, some 2,000 refugees per day begun pouring into the country. The influx of refugees has overstretched the already limited infrastructure and flooded the labor force with cheap labor that outpriced Jordanian workers. Unable to deal with the size of the influx, Jordan closed its borders to the vast majority of Syrians in September 2014. Over time, the living conditions for the Syrians in Jordan have deteriorated. 99% are either jobless or work illegally in very low-paid jobs.
A lot of people think about immigration. There is no hope to back to Syria because of Syria, because the situation of Syria is very hard. As you know, Syria is destruction, war, groups of people kills another, and I escaped from this destruction. Syrian people searching about life, not a beautiful life, just only life. For here in Jordan, I feel I'm near Syria. Jordan people is good people. I'm here with my wife, with my daughter, with my mom. I'm work everything. I'm struggle to stay alive. There is no future here. I try to work in everything coming in my face. Okay, you understand me? Mm-hmm. Organizations not help us. My way of life is different. Your way of life. Syrians cannot live in Europe forever. They dream to stay 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, until Syria is back up, as you say.
Scattered across the Jordan Valley, more than 20,000 Syrians live in makeshift camps. They have escaped the war-ridden provinces of Hama and Homs and have sought refuge in the valley, hoping to find work in the fields. Seen as illegal settlers by Jordanian law, they live in constant fear of deportation back to Syria. 3/4 of the population are children, but there are no schools. People struggle to survive, and parents have to make hard choices. Most children have to work along their relatives in the fields. They can earn $6 for 14 hours of picking vegetables or tiling the land. Most of the tent camps are erected in inaccessible rocky hilltops overlooking the farmlands. The tents are just a wooden frame covered with plastic cardboards and old rugs that leak through with each downpour. They can barely protect families from the rain or the wind. There is no heating, no running water, and no toilets. People have to pay for the electricity that is strung out to them, and for the water that is shipped in by the owners of the land. The tenure agreements with the landlords are informal and unwritten, leaving people vulnerable to exploitation and abuse. But living in the makeshift camps is not the worst of the options for the refugees. There's no such thing as a normal life in the tents, but in the valley, people can still find work and regain some control over their lives. Just a few kilometers away, the artificial normalcy of a life behind the barbed wire fences of Zatari camp is striking, and it can be dangerous as well. The largest refugee camp in the Middle East is now home to 80,000 Syrian refugees, all living within its 8-kilometer circumference. There are 12 districts in the camp and a main commercial street where bikes and pedestrians share the road, passing by a long line of small shops selling almost everything, from toys to light bulbs. Zaatari is often called the fourth city of Jordan, a notion that gives a sense of normality to an exiled life. But this normalcy is a very dangerous one. It's not normal to live behind a barbed wire fence and to be deprived of freedom of movement. It's not normal that electricity runs for only 4 hours per day and families survive on UN food vouchers that are barely enough to feed a whole family for a month. With approximately 80 babies born a day, more than half of the refugees are children under 17, and at least 28,000 are of school age. But from those, only half are enrolled to one of the 5 schools that operate in shifts inside the camp. Poverty is rampant, and families have no means to cope. Child labor affects at least 15% of the children in the camp.
قوية الأغصان في ظلها أرجوحة كثيرة الألوان لما نزور جدتي وجدنا عدنان تدزنا وأخوتي وكلنا فرحان تروي لنا حكاية من سالف الأزمان نحن نحب جدتي في حضنها الأمان.
أروع من هيك ما في معيشة رخيصة كوضع الوضع الأسري ممتاز يعني التآلف الاجتماعي مع بعض العالم كذا كذا كان في أمان كان في كذا هون في أمان بس بلد بلا مؤاخذة جاي أنت على أساس أنك لاجئ 10 أيام أو 20 يوم مش طلعت السلاف 4-5 سنين وبدك تظلك هون ما دام الحرب قايم بسوريا بدك تظلك قاعد هون بالأمان. أروع من هيك ما في معيشة رخيصة كوضع الوضع الأسري ممتاز يعني التآلف الاجتماعي مع بعض العالم كذا كذا كان في أمان كان في كذا هون في أمان بس بلد بلا مؤاخذة جاي أنت على أساس أنك لاجئ 10 أيام أو 20 يوم مش طلعت السلاف 4-5 سنين وبدك تظلك هون ما دام الحرب قايم بسوريا بدك تظلك قاعد هون بالأمان. مستقبل لا هون لا سوريا فقط. يعني بوجه كلمة للعالم كله يعني مش بوجه كلمة بس للاجئين اللي عم بروحوا من عبر القوارب أو الزوارق عم بموتوا عم بموتوا أو كذا. أنا بوجه كلمة للدول العربية والدول الأجنبية عن الوضع اللي عم بصير بسوريا مثلا إنه تكلمت عليه الإرهاب مثلا صار بسوريا. هسا عم بقولوا لك إنه مثلا تنظيم داعش منهم من إيران من حزب الله من الشيعة من هذا اللي عم بصير.
عن الوضع وشلون العيش.
Please stop the war.
غريبة الدنيا غريبة 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 يا ديارنا صارت بعيدة 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 لك هجرتين